what you working on?
Hi, Charity. Well, it's Mention It Monday, as you all know. And so come over here. Let me show you this quilt. I hope you guys, I've decided to take my mask off because it's so hard for you to hear me around that mask on the video. So we're kind of isolated ourselves back in the classroom. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what I'm working on. I have this quilt that we had made by one of our good friends and customers, and she made this sample for us. And it's time for me to decide how to quilt it, because that's what I get to do. This is from our Benartex line by Painted Sky Studio. It's called Quilter Barn Prints, and it comes with a free pattern. So if you decide you'd like to come and buy this, if you like this quilt, come on down and let us put you together a kit on this one, because it's really cute. It comes with a panel. It's got all these little barns and things like that, roosters. But one of the themes throughout it is sunflowers. So I thought to myself, how can I quilt something with sunflowers in these open panel blocks, and then I'll do something else in the sashing and the piecework, and of course in the border. So how can I do that? How can I audition my quilt plan? So it just so happens, as you may know, we carry So Steady products from the Westerly products from So Steady. And one of them is this really nifty grid. Now, I've drawn on this grid so that you can see it. Hang on just a second. I've been chasing that little thing for 2 hours. It's this wonderful gridded paper. This is a 1/2-inch grid. And you see it has crosshatch in an 8-point grid. As well, I have a 16-point grid in this acrylic template. So I can lay this over. You'll see I'll lay this over my quilt. And I've kind of drawn, using a Sharpie, I've kind of drawn and erased and drawn and erased, so you'll pardon the smears. Let me see if I can line this up. I've kind of drawn this block. This block right here is represented by these black lines. And so I have to think, gosh, how can I recreate something that is that represents a sunflower? So the first thing I wanted to do was draw a circle. And we have lots of tools for quilting specific shapes. In this case, I happen to be using one of the Handy Quilter round rulers. So Steady, whether you have a high shank or a low shank, has a whole series of circle rulers you could also use. I'm also using one of these little devices, and it allows me to represent that 1/4-inch gap between the point of my needle to the edge of my ruler, so I can draw more accurately. So I'm just going to give myself a circle as if I were quilting for my sunflower. And I might, using a different one, smaller one, come back in. I like echoes. You'll forgive me if this one doesn't draw, if I don't draw it perfectly. So now I want to recreate a sunflower. And what I know about me and the limitations in my personal art skill is that I've got to have some guidelines, or I'm going to have windswept flowers that go all over the place. So I'm going to use this lovely little tool and these guidelines to help me create that sunflower. So I could start here in the center, echo up, and well, that's not a very good one, is it? I could do feathers. So perhaps I do it this way. And if you can feather, if you can't, it's just kind of a C shape. And it allows me to fill that space in. And I can say, gosh, do I like it or do I not like it? These are very Art Deco-y kind of sunflowers. So maybe I do want to do something like this. And then as I try to audition my different opportunities for this flower, I can decide, good golly, I like that, or no, not so much. And actually, I'm kind of digging that one right there. And if I can free motion that, if I can just stitch straight, and all I need is a point right here, stitch straight, and an arc, and straight, gap just a little bit, straight, and an arc and straight. And I have this lovely kind of Art Deco little sunflower as a result. Then I can pop in here and fill this just like a sunflower. Fill it with little little seeds. I can fill it with anything I want to. So this gives me a great opportunity to create a block and audition design on it. Of course, I still have to keep going and figure out what I might want to do here. Maybe I want to do something as simple as continuous curve. And I just stitched myself into a corner. I wasn't thinking. The good news is it erases way easier than it rips. Once I have it drawn and I know exactly what I want, I can next take this tool to my actual quilt, find that center, and using an air erase, well, I'm not a big fan of air erase because I'm a slow quilter. So air erase goes away too fast for me. We're going to pretend like I'm in the center. In this case, I'm going to use a water erasing marking tool, and I have the opportunity to give myself those same hash marks on my actual quilt. And now I have registration points that I can quilt around that array and not get those windswept, goofy flowers I get when I try to do free motion.
So Mary, what's this cool tool that you use to draw those
what's it even called? Gosh, hang on. I have my paperwork. I was so excited that you showed up. I forgot my paperwork. It's a design kit. It comes with this one and this one, and then the solid one, the 8-point grid marking, and it also comes with these awesome papers, and this is just grids that you can use to design with. Or you can buy just this. And this is invaluable to me. I use these tools at my frame all the time because, again, if I don't have points of registration in my free motion, things start leaning sideways. So this is a Sew Steady product offered through the Westerly rulers. And, of course, it comes with there's rulers, there's template sets, there's all kinds of tools you can use, those little spacer guides. And because this was Monday, and this is the Monday of a second week of our sale, everything's 25% off if you use it for quilting. So there's that. That's a nifty little tool that I'm excited about. Let me tell you also about our sales. Just so happens, and let me see my notes. So the spring sales event starts Saturday with Brother, and that's on March 6th. That happens to coincide with our sale. So lucky us, right? Let me just tell you, so I was glancing through this when they brought it to me. Let me tell you some of the really awesome deals offered here. If you bought a Luminaire 2, starting March 6th, if you buy a Luminaire 2, gifted with that, included in your purchase, is a free set of the best 100 threads. That's 100 colors of thread. And here's the big one, a free laptop. So now you have software, you have a hardware to go with the software you're buying. It comes with, so that's your free gift away, your free gift, from Brother with the purchase of a Luminaire 2. If I move to the Stellaire XE1, that's the embroidery only, you get a free set of luggage, so that has a $600 value, and a free 24-piece thread set and 1,000 designs. And that's included with your purchase of a Stellaire XE1 embroidery only machine. Her big sister, the XJ1, which is sewing and embroidery, you're going to get that free luggage set, plus 100 thread, the best 100 threads, and 1,000 designs. And it just keeps going from there, including most of the bigger machines with Brother. There are all kinds of giveaways and packages. I know that Robin just this last weekend was having a chat with Shannon about side hustles, about working with your embroidery and turning it into a side hustle. Maybe you'd like to retire and have a little extra money. And so you want to start a little side hustle. You want to stay home with your kids and you don't want to go out working, or maybe you just want to do it. The Entrepreneur Pro X, the 1055X and the 6 needle both come. Let's see, on the 10 needle, It's a free PR stand and a universal cap frame. A free Durkee 7-piece frames combo and a playbook. And the 6 needle comes with a stand and cap frame and the playbook. So ScanNCut has some specials. Even the small machines have an added special for you. So March 6th, that's Saturday. If you've been considering a brother sewing machine, this would be the time to take that plunge. And the last thing I want to tell you about is Domestic Machine Quilting Expanded. That's an event we have coming up March 12th and 13th. Jane Hopprich, who happens to be my friend and lives in Maryland, is going to be virtual. She's going to teach virtually here in our classroom. You'll have 2 assistants here in the room helping you as Jane walks us through. It's not beginners pre-motion quilting. This is quilting on your domestic sewing machine or your long needle, but this needle is stationary. It's not a movable machine. She's going to teach in that first day, it's a Friday. That first day, she's going to teach all about, think about it in terms of building the repertoire of what you know how to do. You're having more tools in your toolbox. Learn to quilt blocks and triangles, circles, shapes, all those things that occur in our quilting. And she's going to help you develop a repertoire of designs that you know how to do. And then on Saturday, it's all about feathers. And in this world, there are a few people who are amazing feather quilters, and Jane Hopprich is one of them. So I hope you'll join us. It is $60 a day, but if you sign up for both days, there's a $20 discount. It'll be $100 for both days. And just go to the calendar at sewbargain.com, find classes and events, find the calendar, and sign right up. You'll be happy with that class, I promise you. So that's what's happening down at the sewing. That's what's sewing down at the post today. Thanks, Charity.